I'm a strong believer in American exceptionalism. When we put our hopes and dreams in front of our fears, we can do things no other country can. But when we try to pass legislation that only further undermines the integrity of the American vote, the very principle of our democracy, I can't stand for that. So in today's debate, I'm going to evaluate it on 4 metrics. For vote, vulnerability, opportunity, transparency, and engagement. Because this bill fails on all 4 categories, we're going to be negating. First, V for vulnerability. There's a big difference between bipartisanship and nonpartisanship. Let me explain. Matt Coulter of the Capital Connection explains in April of 2015 that the nonpartisan voters on the commission in California lacked the political expertise and were at the mercy of lobbyists and other politically involved people who were posed as ordinary citizens. Now, speakers in the future are going to come up here and call to California as the perfect example of redistricting. California had 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, and 5 supposedly nonpartisan voters. The problem was these nonpartisan voters were at the mercy of politically expert voters on the commission, and they were then lobbied, which essentially led to my impact of O for opportunity. It led to more opportunity for political money in the system. Essentially, in a blue state like California, corporate lobbyists were able to sway the nonpartisan independent voters on the commission to draw the maps that favored Democrats. In any red state, the same thing's going to happen, just favoring Republicans. So first, Ms. Mupavarapu, when you want to impact to more competitive elections, that only happens when the districts are drawn equitably and fairly. Even in California, where the system was supposedly a success, there were uncompetitive elections afterwards because the specific 5 members were swayed over to the Democratic side. This commission needs to understand it's not just about being a public figure, it's about figuring out what's good for the public. This bill does nothing to bridge the yawning political gap in our country. We do nothing to fix that. But next, let's look for T, that's transparency. In California, a main problem and specific part of the system was the transparency involved within the voting commission. Keisha Gaskins of the Brennan Center for Justice explains in 2016 that the hearing process in California gave meaningful opportunity for constituents to revise and incorporate feedback. People actually got to sit in on the sessions where they were drawing the maps and they got to give feedback. And then they saw the feedback that was actually incorporated back into drawing sessions. And Ms. Mupavarapu, that goes right into public trust. Or finally, E for voter engagement, because Gaskins furthers that it improved voter engagement all throughout California and improved voter awareness. In today's piece of legislation, there is no feature that makes sure that voters have an opportunity to not only give feedback to the commission, but also see the feedback incorporated. The problem in the status quo is that important policy is made behind closed doors. It has to be made in front of the people in order to actually make a change. When voter turnout is completely non-unique in today's piece of legislation, we can't say that our democracy is inherently stronger. To understand this bill, just look at what I spelled out. V-O-T-E. This bill doesn't help the vote. That's why you negate.
Thank you, Representative, for that 2